Hello everyone, good morning. Okay, so in the last session, we discussed about language basics, Java programming, right? And we discussed about first important component, or I will say the pillar of Java, that is class, and what is object, and what is relationship between both, right? So class is technically template, class is a blueprint where you can represent object information, every real-time entity which has state and behavior, correct? And which is partitioned into two different parts of memory. One is for data, one is for object, one is for function. That is called object, correct? But where you can mention that data and function, so there we need a class. Inside a class, whatever object, data, and function is available, that we can simple declare. So class is a template where you can represent all these things, right? So class is a important, we can say without class, we'll be not able to start our Java programming. So very first we need to design a class. Inside the class, you can declare data, function, constructor. We will see what is constructor and what are the blocks available. But before that, what is object? Object is an instance of a class, right? Any a real-time entity which has a state and behavior, that is called object. Plus from JVM also, object will get separate identity number. So in the last session, we discussed about this part, right? What is object, how to create. And even I have already given one assignment to you. So have you tried this assignment? How to create this particular employee class with two variable and how to create two, or we can say five different employee detail. Means five objects you are going to create, right? Only few participants have shared the assignment. Other participant try this. Okay, fine. So today, what the topic will be starting. So guys, we have started with the data, like what type of data we are trying to hold, right? But where exactly we are trying to store that data? It is inside the variable. I will be starting today the very interesting topic. What is variable? How many different types of variables are there in Java? And then we'll be starting about the core concept, data types in Java. Okay. So very first variable is name of storage area. Okay. Where you can store certain data. In general, what happen? Whenever you wanted to store any information, right? Consider this is our RAM. Okay. And within RAM, I want to store something. So you can't directly go to RAM and you can't directly store your data here. Okay, without a storage, you are not able to store any information inside the RAM. So suppose I wanted to store 200, I will not come to directly RAM and I will say, okay, I wanted to store 200. No, for this we need a storage. In programming, to store any type of information, we need variable, correct? So what is variable? Variable is a name of a storage location where you can store certain data. Okay, fine. Now currently this is number, right? Generally for every data, I mean depends on the type of that data, we can declare data types in program. So here comes the main part. Whenever you wanted to store any data, you need to know data type for that particular data. For now, consider for this number, I will be using integer. Integer is a primitive data type. So when I write int, and if I just write x is equal to 200, that means x is a name of variable, correct? This is our identifier, which is nothing but variable name. And what is 200? That is your actual data, constant data or some kind of number, right? Which we have stored. So this 200 will assign to x and x will be hold with this particular data. So in the memory, what will be the representation? Whenever it is integer, it will first create 4-byte storage location. Then it will hold 200 into that memory. And then that memory you can represent or you can give a name to that memory, that is your x. So x is a variable name which store 200 at that particular memory. Got it? So generally variable concepts are very important. So whenever in any programming language to store anything, we need a variable, guys. And this is how you will declare. But for declaration, some rules are there. Variable cannot be start with your number. Means you can't write, suppose I wanted to write some first name. I will be writing something like this. Okay, first name. Camel case format you can follow. String, first name, and then I can store certain data. Okay, but you can't write in this way. One first name. No. Number you cannot start at the beginning. It should be as at least alphabets. Okay, you can't write directly number. Even these are the rules which I have mentioned here. Variable names are case sensitive. Okay, string one employee name, it is invalid name. Rather than you should write what? Employee name, then you can pass a number, that is okay. Employee name one, something like that you can write. But do not start your variable name by writing number first. Okay, as per the convention, it is always begin with your variable name with the letter. Okay, not with particular special symbols like dollar and hyphen also. So it is preferable that employee name over string employee name, right? So generally do not start with any direct special symbol or any kind of number. Better than you can write in this manner. Okay, you can just write in this manner. Now camel case means whenever you are following two words to declare your variable, first word, first letter must be small. Second word, first letter must be capital. Okay, so you can see employee name. How it is written? Employee name. Got it? This is what camel case format. So you have to follow this basic convention. So in Java, again, Java is a case sensitive language. That's the reason all these rules are important to know. But when it comes to the types of variable, how many different types are there? Guys, Java support total 3 different types of variable. One is local variable, another one is called instance variable, and third variable name is static variable. Now let's understand what is this local variable, instance variable, and static variable. So I will do one thing in your project itself. I will be adding one file, okay, for general notes. Again, I'll say notes, and inside that file, I will add some point. Okay. So first point, let me close it. And whenever we start writing, let me put today's date. I think it is 30, right? So here I will be adding that notes, okay? So variables. Java support 3 variable types, everyone. What is local variable? Just understand the point. Local variable means, okay, whenever any variable declare within a method, okay? So if, or let's say, variable declare within method called local variable, okay? So you need to understand 3 points here. First of all, scope. What is the scope for this particular local variable? Let me tell you, scope for this local variable is what? Within a method. Only within method we can use this particular variable. Okay. Second point, when the memory will be allocated. Better I will write memory allocation. Okay. Whenever any local variable is there, when the memory will be allocated for that local variable, at the time of, remember, at the time of method execution. Okay, only at the time of method execution memory will be allocated, and when the memory will be deallocated. Okay, so please remember, after execution, after execution of method, okay, memory will be deallocated. What is meaning of this? See, any variable when you declare within a method, that is called local. Okay. Scope is limited. Only within a method you can access. Outside the method you can't access. Correct? So when the memory will be allocated, when you execute that method, okay, then only memory will be allocated to that local variable. And when the memory will be deallocated, after execution, automatically Java will release the memory. This is the key point. Now, just to understand this topic, let me explain here. What I will be doing today, let me create another package. Okay. This is com dot week 2. Okay. Let me just design in the same way week 2. And here I will be creating my first class, that is variable demo. Just have a look. Variable demo. I will be taking this main function also. Okay. So currently you can see this is my class variable demo, and this is our entry function through which we are able to execute our code, right? So main function is required. Now guys, on the top of this, I will declare one method. Okay, let's say show method. So what is show method? Inside a show method, I will be writing one variable, let's say marks. Okay, marks is equal to, I will say better, 90. Fine. And here I'm printing that message. So example, marks, okay, marks from show method. And here I'm printing the same, right? Marks. So now this marks method, I mean marks variable, where I declare inside the show method. Agree? So this type of variable which is declared inside the method, I can simple call it as local variable. Remember. Okay? What type of variable it is? It is local variable. And where you can access it? Absolutely within a show method only I can access it. See, consider. I'm designing one more method. Public void display. Hmm? And inside a display method, I wanted to print that marks, which is available inside a show method. If I write that statement again, okay, marks from show, and you can see I'm getting error here. Why I'm getting error here? Java says marks cannot be resolved to variable. Why it is happened? Because you can understand the scope here. If the marks variable declare inside the show method, I can access it only from that show method. I can't access it directly from the display method. For display, it is unknown, right? Marks is not a resolved to variable because display don't know what is that marks. Are you getting my point? So this is the main part. Whenever any variable declare inside the method, only through that method you can access it. You can't access it outside that method. Now please have a look. Inside main method also, I'm writing the same statement. Is it I'm able to access directly inside the main? You can see no, right? I can't access marks because again I'm having the same problem. Marks for this main method cannot be resolved to variable because main method also don't know what is this marks. Got it? And that's the reason, guys, local variable is limited scope. It is related to that method only you can access, right? But suppose, now just consider what I'm going to do. Inside the main method also, I'm declaring integer marks. And here I'm writing integer marks is equal to 100. Is it allowed? Can I reuse the name of variable? Yes, you can. Anyways, marks is a local and that variable is related to that show method, right? So show method marks are different and main method marks are now different. See, at this moment, I'm not getting any error because here I'm having marks from the main function. Are you getting my point? So these marks are different, which are available in show method. And here even I'm using same variable name, but this is related to scope. It is different. I will say marks is equal to 100 local to main function only. Got it? Now tell me, if I run this code, what will be the output of this program? Anyone? If I execute this,
1900.
sorry, yeah, repeat again. What will be the output? Which marks you will able to see?
100.
100, correct. So only from marks which are available from main function you will able to see in the output because I'm not calling that show function. So if you are not calling show function, you will not able to see result from that show function. Got it? So at this moment, if I run this code, just have a look. What is the output? I'm getting here marks from main, which is 100. So 100 is printed in the console. Got it? Similarly, now I wanted to print marks from the show method. But in Java, what we have learned, where is the show method? It is a part of a class. Any member of a class, if you wanted to call, what you need? In the last session, what we discussed? Object. Okay, anything from the class, if you wanted to call, we need an object. So what I will do, I will create for this class now object inside the main function. Okay, suppose variable demo v1, it is equal to new, and this is my constructor. Got it? Object we create in this manner. And now if you wanted to call that show method, you can call v1 dot show. Got it? So at this moment, if I run, now I can see both the marks, right? I'm getting in the result main function marks, which are 100, and marks from the show, which are 90. So these variable, which is available inside the method, when you declare inside the method, it is called local. But in Java, there are two more types. Okay. Second type is what? It is all about instance variable. What is instance variable? Please have a look. Any variable, okay, any variable declare. inside class and outside any method, okay, any block is called instance variable. Okay, what is the scope for instance variable? Everyone listen. It is only within an object. You can access only and only within an object. Better I will copy this two line. Memory allocation and memory deallocation. So when the memory will be allocated at the time of, okay, object creation. So whenever we create, okay, object for that particular, variable, I mean for that particular class, at that time only memory will be allocated for the instance variable. And after execution of object, okay, generally we can say after destroy any object, right? Let me just write destroy any object, memory will be automatically released for that particular instance variable. One more point which is important, for every new object, okay, for every new object, new memory will be created. Means suppose I'm creating 10 different object, 10 time you will get a separate memory in separate object. Okay, so these are the 3 points which you need to remember. Very first, what is instance variable? Whenever you declare any variable within a class, outside any block, any method, such a variable we can call instance variable. In fact, I will show you here in the code. So at this moment, variable demo is our class, and I have shown you only local variable. Now please have a look. I'm writing here something, integer ID, which is equal to 101. And I'm writing here one more variable, string name. Name is equal to, let's say, Sarab. Okay. So these two variables I have declared. One student ID and student name I have declared, right? Now what type of variable these are? You can just observe where I have declared it. Outside the method, correct? Inside the class. And there is no static reference. So we can directly call such a variable as instance variable. So there is a one more rule. Instance variable you can declare directly without any static keyword. So any variable declare inside the class, outside the method, and I will add without static, okay, without static keyword, then it is called instance variable. Remember. Okay, so this is what the complete definition you need to remember. This is what instance variable. So I have declared two variables inside the class. Now guys, what is the scope of this variable? This variable will get the memory when you create an object. At this moment, already I have created object, and that is V1. So whenever object will create, memory will be allocated to instance variable, and whenever object will destroy, memory will be automatically delete, correct, or release. Now, how we can access it? Absolutely, these are the class level variable. You can access anywhere in the class. Means suppose in the show method, I wanted to call this ID. Okay, I'm writing, okay, fine. This is student ID, and I'm writing student ID is, and I wanted to call here, okay, simple, I'm calling ID. Okay, so you can call easily without any object. Object is required only for a main function, correct? So I'm writing here student. Now say name is, and here I'm calling that name, right? So this is allowed. I can easily access name and ID here. But same messages if I write inside the main function, you will not able to access, guys. Please have a look. If I'm writing here, I will be not able to access ID and name, because at this moment, ID name are instance variable, and to call it, you need an object, correct? So if you can see what the message I'm getting from Java, Java says you cannot make static reference to the non-static field ID. Means within a static main function, you can't directly call non-static variable ID and name, correct? So what I will be doing now, I just wanted to call it as it is. So I'm using same object name. v1.id I'm calling, and second I'm calling v1.name. So at this moment, okay, when I say v1.name, at this moment, both the variable through the object I can access. So instance variable you can access only through the object. That's the reason scope is only related to object. Okay, whenever you create an object, memory will be allocated. Now, if I run this code, what will be the output? Everyone, very first I will get main function marks, then show method will be executed. So whenever control will go to the show, what will run? ID, name and marks from the show. And after that, again, I have written this two line. So again, I'm getting ID and marks from that particular variable or ID or name, correct? Not marks. So just have a look what is the result. See main function marks. Now student ID, student name, show function marks also you are getting. And after that, I'm calling this two statement, line number 27, 28. So it is printing here. Got it? So way you are calling your method, in the same way you are able to see the result. Okay, where you are calling that statement. If I'm calling these two variables, okay, before show method, I will get the result different now. Correct? So what the result will be at this moment, suppose I delete this two line, the result will be different. First main function marks, then you will get student ID, student name. Again from the show, you will be getting student ID, student name and the show function marks. Correct? Please have a look. Now the result will be different. So if I run the code, see again I'm getting first two time student ID, student name, and then I'm getting that show function marks. So it is totally depend how you are calling that variable or any particular function. Okay, sequence can be anything, but you need to understand the concept. So what is instance variable? Any variable that we declare inside the class, outside the method, we can call instance variable. But how to call it? Absolutely with the object you are able to call it. One more line I have added. For every new object, you will get a new memory. Generally, what is this concept? Whenever you create another object, initially you will get a separate memory for the both ID and name, correct? So example in variable demo, right? In this class, I'm creating one more time object. Okay, I'm writing again variable demo. Let's say v2, it is equal to new. Again, I'm writing variable demo. Just have a look. Variable demo constructor, right? And again from v2, I'm just calling that particular show function. So what will happen? One more time, I will able to see ID, name and show function. I mean marks, whatever there, it is in that method. Please have a look. So two time I'm calling that particular method, right? So you can see again I'm having ID, name and marks from show, okay, which is the output of line number 32. So the way you are calling that function or any variable, you will able to see the result in the same sequence. Got it? So instance variable, every time when you create an object, instance variable will get the new memory. Now guys, what is the third variable available in Java? The type is static variable. So let me come to here and let me explain what is static variable. So very first, for static variable, okay, let me write here. What is static keyword? Static keyword in Java plays very important role. Okay, so there are multiple usage for static keyword. But what is static variable first? Let's understand. Any variable that you declare inside the class, remain concept remains same outside the method, outside the block, but with static keyword. Okay, here I have written without, right? But now I need to write with static keyword. Then such a variable you can call static variable in Java. Okay, what is the scope for static variable within a class, everyone? Remember, static variable have a scope within a class. Within a class, everywhere you can access it. Okay, so when the memory will be allocation at the time of class loading, okay, at the time of class loading, memory will be allocation. And whenever your class will complete the execution, right, then memory will be automatically released. Now guys, for every new object, okay, same memory, remember, same memory will be shared. So it will not create new memory, but it will share a same memory to every new object. So static keyword plays very important role in Java. It is actually used for proper memory management. Okay, so I will add this point here. Static keyword plays important role. Okay, important role. I'll say it is used for memory management. Remember, Okay. So for proper memory management, the static keyword get actually used. There are three usage which you need to remember. Okay. We have static variable, which is we are learning now. Then we can have static method also. Okay. Then we are having one more thing, which is called static. Okay. Let me write static block. People might ask you, these are the very famous interview questions. Okay. So what is static variable, static method, and static block? So please have a understand first what is variable. Any variable which you declare inside the class, outside the method again. Okay. But only one change. We need to write as a static keyword, right? Then only that variable we can call static variable. But guys, unnecessary. We don't design any static variable. So when we can follow static, if you focus, like if any variable which is common for all the object, okay, so one more line, any variable, okay, common, or any data, I will say better, any data common for, okay, common for all the object, then such a data you can declare as a static. If you feel anything is common for all the object, example in our case, what is the example? See, currently I'm taking student data. Now, students, there can be multiple students. Agree? Marks also can be different. So, marks we have declared local, student data we have declared instance. But at this moment, all the student they belongs to the same class. I mean, same college. Then I can declare that college name which is common for all the student as a static date. Are you getting my point? So, unnecessary we don't create any static guys because that is related to memory. When the memory will be created only once when the class will be loaded, and same memory will be shared with all the object. That is the main beauty. That's the reason don't declare unnecessary everything as a static. No. Whenever you feel anything is common for all the data, all your objects, then such a information you can declare as a static. So I can write here static string, let's say C name, college name. And suppose I'm writing AISSPMS. Okay, the college name is AISSPMS. So means all the students, they are coming from the same college, right? So here you can see the beauty. Now this static data I can access anywhere. Example, I wanted to access here first college name, right? I'm writing here college name is, and here I'm writing that CNAME variable. Okay. So you can access it directly inside your show function, correct? Inside your class anywhere. In fact, inside your main function also you can access it. And the best part is you don't need to create an object to call any static data. Okay. So one more point I will be adding, no objects required. Okay. No object required. Okay, to call any data, okay, or to call static, I will say static data, correct? In fact, static data or method, if you really wanted to call, we don't need any object to create, correct? That's the reason main function is also static. So I can easily write and I can easily call. Now just have a look, if I run this code, what will be the output? From this program, I'm getting first main function, marks 100. Then I'm getting student ID, student name. Then I'm getting that college name also you can see. And then I'm getting that show function, student ID, student name. And then I'm getting show function marks. Again, I'm getting college name, student ID, student name, and again show function marks because two time I have created object and two time I'm calling show function. And finally, from the main, I'm getting college name is AISSPMS. Got it? So these are the three different types of variable available in Java. Any doubt here? What is local, instance, and static? Is it clear declaration and how you are calling it? But I wanted to show one more thing. Then your concept will be clear. Focus. Guys, I'm showing you debugging right now. Okay. So I will put debug point on the main function, which will help you to understand the flow. Okay. Now please have a look. If I debug this code as a Java application, how the functions and variables exactly created and how the code is working, please have a look. So we have already seen whenever object will be created, JVM assigns some ID to it. Currently, string type of object is there, argument, so we are having this ID. Now say integer marks will be 100, right? This statement will run from the main function. So if I just run this code, I mean step over the program. See, marks is a local variable and which get assigned with 100 number, correct? If I one more time step over, see object will be created now. So let me do step over. At this moment, V1 object will create. And do you remember what the statement I have written? Any instance variable if you have, instance variable will get the memory when the object will create. Now please have a look. In our code, who is instance? ID is instance, name is instance. If I can show you here, can you see that? Here you get the memory for ID and name. So ID is 101, name is Sarah. Got it? Now I'm just doing step over again. See, it will print student ID, it will print student name. Then it is calling show function. Whenever we are calling show function, again we are able to see the same result. Again, second object I have created V2. But see, again V2 will get the memory for instance variable. Separate memory will be created. This is proven, right? So every instance variable, the number of time you are creating object, separate memory will be created. And this is how you will see the result. Show is executing. And finally, you will see the college name. This is the complete flow which you need to understand. So any local variable, if we have, local variable will get the memory at the time of method execution, but instance variable get the memory at the time of object creation. And static variable are very special. They will get the memory whenever you just create your class, and whenever class will be loaded, automatically static things will get the memory. So these 3 points are clear to everyone. How many different types of variables are there in Java? Local, instance, and static variable. Any question on this? Before moving to the next topic? Okay, please have a look. I wanted to show you one more thing. As I mentioned here, one more point. Static keyword plays important role in Java, right? We actually use static keyword for memory management. So two interview questions I will be explaining here. People might ask you what is static block and what is the purpose of static block and what is static method. So guys, when it comes to the method part, Java support two types of method. One is instance method, another one is a static method. How you can differentiate which one is instance and which one is static variable? Focus. So I'm writing here method demo. Anyways, there are many things which you'll be learning in the method, but just have a look as the topic comes. Let me explain. What is instance method? When you declare any method, okay, without any static keyword, such a method we can call instance method. Every method how you declare in Java, access modifier, return type, and the method name. So consider guys, I'm writing here accept, that is the name of method. But at this moment, what is the type of this method? I will say this is instance method. Correct now? Because this method I haven't declared with the static keyword. So this method I can say instance method. But whenever we declare, example I'm writing public, static, void, and let's say I'm calling here show function again, right? And what is this show now? I will say this is, okay, this is static method. So very first, which method is static method? The method which we declare with static keyword. Now what is the rule? If you have an instance method, remember, if you have an instance method, to call instance method, okay, call with only and only with object. You can call only with the object. Without object, you can't call instance method. But what is the beauty? If you have a static method, you can directly call without object. Okay, so static method you can call two ways actually. So I will put here multiple line comment and let me add. See, static method, okay, in same class, call without, okay, call directly. Better, I will write call directly. Okay, but directly, but in different class using class name, call static method. Only two rules are available for static method. Okay, how you can call? If you are calling in a same class, you don't need any object, you don't need any class name even. Okay, But if you are calling static method in different class, you need what? Class name over there. So what is the meaning of this? Please have a look. So what I'm going to do now, this is my main function. I declare two methods in my class, which is accept, another one is the show, and one is static, one is instance. Show is a static one, right? So I can call it directly. Directly means without any name of class and object, you can write in this manner, and see, I can easily call show function, right? Because show is a static, now I can call it easily. If I run, whatever there inside that method, you will able to see in the result. See, I'm getting message. This is static method. What is another way? Show function we can call directly by its class name. Let's see. If I write here method demo, that is my class name, correct? Class name dot operator. Absolutely, to call anything, we need to follow dot operator. Whenever you are writing method demo dot, please have a look what you can call. You can just call main, you can call show. Are you getting my point? Means I can call only show method which is static by taking help of a class name. But can I call accept method with the help of class name? No, not possible. Why? Because accept is an instance method. Instance method is only related to object, guys. So please have a look. Now two times I'm calling show. If I run this code, what will be the result? Here I'm getting two times same message. This is static method. This is static method. So this is how I'm calling static data or static method. Okay. What if I wanted to call instance variable? Now absolutely I need to create an object, right? So guys, how to create an object? We have to write method demo. Any reference variable name, it is equal to new. New keyword will help you to create an object, correct? And then I'm writing here constructor. But at this moment, my question is for all the participants. Tell me, whenever I'm creating object for a particular class, whatever there inside that class, everything we can access through the object? Yes or no? So currently, I'm having a class, and this class contain two things. One is accept method. Another one is a show method. This is my complete class, right? For this class, whenever I create an object, what this object can access? Technically, object have everything, guys. Object can access accept method also. Object can access show method also. But show, which is a static method. So in Java, to call any static method, we have a different rule. Java says calling through the object, it is not a right way to call any static method. But we can call. You will not get any exception, you will not get any error. Okay, you will just get a warning from Java that this is not a right way to call show method. But try to understand, when you create an object have a full access to access everything from that class. Agree? So at this moment, if I come to here and if I just show you what M1 can access, see M1 dot, and here you can see M1 can access accept method, which is an instance method, plus M1 can access static method also. Please have a look. So I can call accept, fine, and I can call show method also. But see, in Java, you will get a yellow color line behind that show. It says there is a warning. What is the warning? Java says the static method show, which is type of method demo, should be accessed in a static way only. So I will keep that message for you. Okay. So what is the rule? You can call it, no problem at all. You will not get any error. Okay. This code also run. So when you run, you will see the result. See, first, because of normal show, we are getting static method calling. Then through the object we call instance, and this is through the object where we call static. But Java says this is not a right way to call static. So that's the reason through object generally we don't call any static method. Got it? So there are only two rules. If you have any method which is declared with static keyword, you can call that method as a static method. If you have any method which is without static, that is instance. To call instance, we need an object. To call static, we don't need any object. But guys, one more point I wanted to show you. I have written one rule here, right? You can call static method directly in the same class, right? You don't need any class name, even object. You can directly call it. But somewhere class name is compulsory whenever you are calling this method. outside this class. Means what? Suppose if I go to my first program, first code, and I wanted to call here, okay, method from that method demo, right? That class. Then here you can just have a look. I can just create method demo class name, and through this class, I can call directly that show method. Can you just have a look? Here you can call. Now, first code is a separate class. In this class, however, how I'm able to access method from that method demo? Because method demo is my public class. Whenever class is a public, anywhere in the project, you can call. So at this moment, if I call show, what will happen? Here I'm able to access that method, show method, where I have written a message. That show method, and this is the static method, right? So that message you will see in the first program. Now please have a look. So if I execute this code, I'm getting the result. Hello all, this is static method. So guys, whenever you have an object, anywhere you can create an object, you can call any method, right? That is a beauty in Java. So when you declare any class, create class object anywhere and you can call everything from that particular class. So using object, we can able to easily call. But currently I'm showing you example for static method. So this is how static method you can call in different class. Correct? So first code is different class and there I can access static method absolutely directly by creating class name and then dot operator and then you can call that method. Remember how exactly we are calling that method. Got it? Okay. So is this point clear to all? What we discuss? Different types of variable and their scope we have discussed. We have discussed two different types of method available in Java, instance and static method, and how exactly you are able to call it. If you have instance method, object is required. If you have a static method, object is not required. That is the simple rule you need to remember. And let me tell you, this part, static method, and which you can call directly anywhere in the code, right? This will help you to create reusable script in automation. So whenever static part you are clear, you can design any reusable script in your automation testing. Got it? So this part we are covering in the automation also. But this is how you need to understand the basic. One more example. Now I will be showing you for one last topic, static block. What is static block in Java? So guys, here I wanted to add few points. Static block, okay, it is use, okay, use to initialize static variable. Okay, generally the main purpose of static block is to initialize static variable. Okay, but static block, whenever you declare in the code, see previously before Java 1.8, if you have a static block and if you have a main function, okay, always remember without main function also you were able to write the or you were able to execute the code. Nowadays main function is compulsory. Without main function you will not able to run the program. But previous scenario it was like that, like if you have a static block, then first priority always goes to the static block and then your main function. So even though if you have only static block, you were able to run the code. But now it is not possible. Absolutely priority first goes to the static block only. So I will say that, okay, first priority to static block. Now let me explain what is this. Okay, so what I'm going to do under week 2, I will be creating one more class. This is for static block. Okay, so I'm giving a same name, static block demo. Let me take a main function. Okay, so everyone, to run a program, as I told you, nowadays we need a main function. Okay, without main function, we will not able to run our program. But what does mean by static block? So we can declare with static keyword, and this is called static block. Okay, what is this? I will say this is the static block. Now, what is the main purpose of this block? So this block will initialize the memory for or initialize the variable which are static variable. Okay. So absolutely static variable cannot be local. So we have to declare inside the class only. So I'm writing, okay, static. Suppose I'm taking the same example, string cname. college name. Okay. So this is the variable which I have declared. Now, who will assign the memory or who will initialize the data for this? That's the responsibility of a static block. So it is not compulsory to define it through the static block only. That's the reason in the previous example, we haven't discussed about static block. But now I'm purely showing you what is static block. Okay. So mainly it is used to initialize the variable for or initialize the data for static variable. So what I'm going to do here, I will write CNAME is equal to AI AISSPMS. Okay. This is what I have written. So college name is equal to AISSPMS. So I have declared the variable. Okay. I have initialized the memory for that variable inside the static block. Okay. And what I'm writing here? So I'm just writing a message. Static block is calling. Okay. And here I'm printing that particular variable also. CNAME. Okay. So how we can print? Put the plus sign and just write the variable name. Okay. So here I'm calling that CNAME, college name. Now guys, inside the main function, I'm writing simple message. Please have a look. This is main function calling. Okay, great. Now the question, what the question in interview people will ask you? Say I have written a simple logic, okay, where I'm having static block. I'm having main function. If I run this program, which statement will execute first? So normally people answer, okay, main function will execute first because we know the Java rule. Absolutely correct. But whenever in your code static block is available, remember first priority goes to static block, not the main function. So very first block will run and then you can see the result for main function. So please have a look. If I execute this code, what the output I'm getting? So current output is static block is calling. I'm getting AI assessments first and then I'm getting main function calling. So here comes the main part. Static block whenever there in your program, first priority always goes to the static block. Okay. We will be not able to see main function result first. Always remember. So this is another point which you need to understand. Like whenever you are having static block will always get a first priority. Okay. If, in fact, in previous version, the case was even though you don't write main function and you have static block, code will be executed. But currently, if you can see, suppose I'm deleting this main function. Okay, I'm having only static block. And let me try to run my code. See, I will be not able to run my code without a main function. I'm not getting option to run even, right? In fact, if you click on the run button also, you will not able to see the result. See, I'm getting error. Main method is not found in the class, so we are not able to run it. Got it? So main method is important nowadays in our program to be right. But in previous version, older version of Java before Java 1.8, even though if you have a static block and you don't have main function, code will be working fine. But now main function block both are important. So as soon as you write any code inside a static block, first priority always goes to static block. Now tell me, all these points are clear to everyone? Any question you wanted to ask? So three topics we have seen today. Different types of variable in Java, local, instance and static. Two different types of method in Java, instance and static method. And the purpose of static block, which is actually to initialize the data for static variable. And static block, who will get always first priority before main function. Any question? Okay, any question you wanted to ask? Fine. So I will add one assignment for you. Okay, assignment number 2. So create, okay, let's say calculator class and create, okay, 4 methods as instance, method and perform operation and print result. Okay. So guys, you need to practice same calculator class, suppose calculator 1 class, and you will be doing this part, right? Only by taking help of a instance method. Second example, you need to try calculator 2 class. Second class you are designing, declare 4 method, but declare this method as a static method and print the result. Okay, perform operation and print the result. So what is meant by perform operation? See, if I just design calculator class, okay, let me show you. So basic calculator you can design, okay, and there you can create a method. If I'm creating add method, please have a look what to do. So at this moment, I will be writing either you can declare variable outside or you can declare variable as a local variable. Okay. Take the variable as a local. So example, public void, I'm writing add function. Okay. Within a add, I will be declaring like A is equal to suppose 10 and B is equal to 20. Okay. So 10 and 20 and I just wanted to perform addition. How you are going to perform addition, everyone? So you can directly perform addition either by taking help of a third variable. So example, I can write now integer c is equal to a plus b. Yes. And whatever result is there, that will be held by the c that I can print here. So here I can write a message. Addition is, and there I will be writing what? That particular c. So this is what type of method I have designed. It is an instance method. Similarly, you have to create a for method. Add, subtraction, multiplication, division. Just create this for method, perform this kind of operation and show me the output. How the output will be? Absolutely rule you have to follow. If you are designing instance method, what is the rule? Create object and call that method. If you have static method, then you can directly call that method without taking help of a class name even or not even object. Correct now? So just to call this add, absolutely I need a class object. So I will be creating here calculator C1, suppose new, and I'm writing here calculator constructor. And using C1, you can call add method. So when you run this program, you will see addition of those two numbers here in the console. Got it? So you can do customization in your way, right? If you wanted to print what is A, what is B, you can print it. Addition of, I will be writing in this manner, okay? Addition of, let's say I wanted to take the variable from value from that A, right? So addition of, I will say A is equal to, just have a look how the customization I'm doing. A, and again I'm writing, okay, plus sign. B is equal to, okay, and B is equal to, here I'm printing B, okay, here I'm printing B, and then I will be writing that message is C. So whatever statement I have written, what is the meaning of this? Here I'm calling method, I mean data from that particular A variable, correct? Here I'm calling same data from B variable. So output will look like this. Addition of A, which is 10, and B is equal to 20 is 30. You are actually printing the value for A and B also, correct? If you wanted to write only the option, like you don't want to write this part, right? So you can just remove this. Addition of 10 and B is, I will be printing like this. Okay. Now what will be the output? See, you will not see the AB variable. You will just get addition of 10 and 20 is 30. That's it. So this is what customization, how you are trying to print that particular data. Okay. And this is how you will see again your result. So addition of 10 and 20 is 30, right? Something like this also you are able to customize your output. So guys, tell me if you have any question. Assignment is clear. Try to complete daily assignments so that you will able to practice and do practice because Java programming is important, right? See, tomorrow we'll be talking about data types, core important topic from Java. Okay, what are the different data types are there? Then we'll be talking some more detail. I will be taking wrapper class. I will be taking keywords. If you see the PPT, all the points are there, right? Operators. We are having separate session on operators also. So you need to understand each and every topic very well. This is the core topic. When you completed your core topics, then only we will start with the main topic of Java. where you will understand what is method, some deep dive into method, right? Parameter passing, returning the value, all these things we are covering. Then we'll be talking about constructor. So before understanding this part, you need to understand the basic. Okay. So we are just understanding each and every topic very well. So be please do practice. Okay. Fine. So we will continue tomorrow with data types. Before that, yes, in case if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, while practicing also, if you stuck somewhere, please let me know. Okay, I will help you. Don't worry. Fine. I hope everybody is clear. So let's stop the session and we will continue remaining topics again from tomorrow. Yeah. Bye everyone. Take care. Thank you so much.